Hi, beautiful tarot people. Welcome to another pick a card reading. I'm Louise, this is Silver Tree Tarot. This particular pick a card reading is aimed at businesses. It's a look at what's going on with your business. So business owners, general status look in. Obviously, you go to legal advice for legal advice, go to financial advice, go to a financial guide. But this is a general look at your strengths, your weaknesses, what's going on with you at the moment. If you want a non-sort of general, non-aimed at the world pick a card reading, you can buy them in my Etsy shop. I will focus on your business solely. So if you find this useful, you might want to check that out. Ridiculously cheap and absolutely lovely. Links are below. But yeah, this is a pick a card reading. Not everything will be relevant to everyone. Use your own judgment, obviously. Focus on the piles for a second, see which one resonates with you, which one makes your heart sing, which one you connect with most deeply, and I will meet you at your pile. Hi Pile 1 people, you chose the Ammonite Fossil and the Fountain deck. I do like the Fountain deck. It was one of my first decks and I still think it's wonderful. I am going to shuffle these live for my Pile 1s. I may well end up editing this bit out because it can take a long time. And also it's possibly going to be a little bit awkward with the camera right where it is to be laying out the cards, but we will see. Pile 1 people. In your business situation, what's going on? Where are we at to? Guides, cards, universe around us. What do we need to know? Best for everybody who picks Pile 1. Okay. Okay. So there was a hesitation there. I don't normally do reversals, and I had the deck up the right way, so I do leave them in when they happen sort of like that. I try to keep my cards very upright, but... So, King of Coins reversed. This is your current situation. Really sorry. It would suggest that you're kind of not managing your world brilliantly, or you feel like you're not managing your world brilliantly. Or you've hit an end of a road and you've kind of got there and gone to, oh, is that it? What next? But yeah, the King of Coins enjoys his life, has a high standard of life. He's very good at creating his legacy. And this is the reversal of all those things. It's the money's dropping away from him or her. Females can be kings, queens can be males. You know, there's no particular gender. It's just the status of. It suggests that you are in control of this business. But that it's not where you want it to be. You're feeling like you're mismanaging it. You're feeling like it's not going as brilliantly as it could do. Sorry, I'm really sorry. So that's the current situation. Obstacles and challenges. The Hanged Man. Okay, so time to think, time to reassess, time to get that inspiration, that moment of, oh, realization. Yeah. Also possibly a bit of martyrdom, you know, it's not, I can't help it, it's not my fault, everything just happens to me. The Hanged Man suggests a lack of control, but it's a pause and it's a time off and it's a time out that can be used really wisely. There is feeling misjudged and feeling like things have been unfair towards you, which probably, you know, they often are. Life's not fair, sorry and all that. But that's being an obstacle right now. This idea of hanging around and waiting to see, not great for you. And indeed, what's being shown as what's going to help, what can help. Five of Wands, burst of energy. Doesn't matter really whether it pays off or not. It's just putting that energy into it, getting things up and moving, getting things growing again, getting things flowing again. Yeah, not giving up, which sounds ridiculous, but it's true, or it sounds obvious, but it's also true here. And also sporting energy, having fun with it. The card can be about combat, about fighting, but it can also be about sport and playing. It's about energy, energy for the sake of energy, almost. So yeah, there's also a little bit of a suggestion with that is there's a team behind you who are willing to put in some of their energy for you as well. So there is a suggestion of outside help, but I'm not going to tell you to rely on that. I always rely on yourself first, you know. So what's going to create long-term solid foundations for you? The Wheel of Fortune. Being capable of dealing with the changes that come. World changes, always. We have good times, we have bad times. Change is inevitable. Being able to cope with that. So having, I don't know, enough savings backed up for if you're in a dry period, or being able to cope with an influx of work when you get more than you're used to having. Being adaptable, being aware of the fact that it's going to go up and down, and it's not always a steady state or a steady climb in the way that we've planned out. If you write a business plan and you expect this particular growth and you're not seeing it, adapt. How do you adapt? Okay, so the short term, what would help you in the short term? What should be your short term goals? Planning a way forwards, and again moving towards that plan, putting that energy in, because it is Wands, but it's the idea of thinking into the future and what's the next step from here. So you need a next step, and you do need the plan, but you also need to be able to change that plan as and when. Okay, so weaknesses. Everybody's got strengths, everybody's got weaknesses. Don't yeah, please don't get too offended by this. Weaknesses. There's a mindset here that's being suggested here as well, that you expect luxury and you expect the life of luxury. Now that's absolutely fine, but you've got to get there, you know. And yeah, it could land in your lap. I'm not going to put aside the idea that miracles happen. I'm not going to destroy that for anyone. If that's where your head's at, then yeah. But this suggests that expectations of instant miracles and building a legacy and building that inheritance and creating your empire can be a bit of a weakness here, because there's if it doesn't happen overnight, if it doesn't happen exactly as you want it, if it doesn't happen as big as you want it, are you going to stop? Or are you enjoying the process and wanting to build something and wanting to grow and to watch it grow and to hone a craft? So yeah, that luxury isn't happening instantaneously. Is a bit of a weakness. So your strengths, though, you do the stuff. You can juggle lots of stuff. You can make it happen. I do love the tattoos up his arm. I'd never noticed that. Focus, Louise. Yeah, you juggle really well. You stay busy. You can do more than one thing. You can move in different directions. Again, this is part of. Oh, not the camera. This does echo this, and it suggests that you're actually in a good place to create a company that is, or build your company into something that can deal with different situations and be quite agile. So yeah, you get on with it. You can cope with business. You can do the stress. You can do this indefinitely. You know, this isn't a problem. Keeping going isn't a problem for you. Fabulous. Very good. Okay, so what you should focus on for now. Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about decision making. It's also about waiting to see what outcomes are of things. So if you are going to be putting in energy and drive where you've been waiting to see, it's keeping things going while you choose what the best direction is. And that's the real one. Right now, it's figuring out what the best direction is. If you can keep things balanced and juggling and moving along slowly whilst assessing and stopping and thinking, then brilliant, absolutely. That's what you should be doing right now. You want to plan forward, you want to build up, but at the moment, how? What are you going to do? Okay, and it's like you need to get that focus. This is something that you need to decide upon, and it's going to be unique to you. But it's got to be how you grow in terms of your capital and in terms of your worth and in terms of the money that you're made in. How does that grow forwards? How does that move forwards? What's the best way to do that right now? And the analysis of that. So your focus seems to be the analysis on what's going to grow forwards and how it's going to grow forwards. What's working now, what isn't working now. Long-term focus, getting that coin. How do you get financially so that you are stable and you can cope with the lean period? Savings, earning more for less work, that sort of thing. Luxury, this is what you're going for. You're going for profit, which is what businesses are for. No judgment, do that thing. But be honest with yourself that that's what your goal is. How do I get there? So you need to find a way to earn more for doing less. You need to be able to sell your particular whatever service goods for more than the next person in some way. And how do you do it with less effort? Sounds good to me. I'm lazy enough to like that. So opportunities. What might you be missing? What might open up? All right, so the magician. For my tarot spiritual types, the magician would be about manifestation. Are you actually spending some time manifesting a successful business, dreaming big, imagining it being successful, scripting it out in the present tense, all that sort of law of attraction goodness? If you're not, start doing that. Do that anyways. The magician, otherwise, if that's not your bag of tricks, if you're not into law of attraction, the magician is about having everything that you need to do it right in your hands right now, acknowledging that I can do this from here with what I've got. You don't have to invest any more. You're not short of funds here. You may not have all the luxury that you want, but you don't actually need any more funds than you've already got in your pocket to make this work. It's viable. Find a way. The magician may, for some people, suggest somebody else who's going to step in and magic it into being, sort of a financial advisor or a business advisor who's got a lot of knowledge and the ability to go, this is how you do it with what you've got. Could, in some cases, mean an actual person stepping in. But this tends to be about what you might be missing and what might open up areas for you. If I got the magician there, I would be thinking law of attraction, manifestation stuff. I would also be thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do right now that I haven't done before with what I've got and where I'm at? So there's a call to analyze what already works and make that decision between this form of advertising or another form of advertising. How do I get my product out there? How do I get my website out there? How do I? And what have I already been trying? What works? So the analysis side of things. And there's also that something from nothing. Is there something that you haven't already tried that you can give it a shot? That's no cost to you, or nothing that you haven't already got available to you. That's the big one with the magician, is you've already got the things. Now get started. Just do it. So yeah, it's it looks like you're in you feel like you're in a stalemate, but you're not. It feels like things are very shifting, and they quite possibly are, but the trick with business is to shift with it and keep juggling, and you will get there. But yeah, I think this is, I think when you've got the magician as a possible opportunity, the world is basically your oyster, isn't it? I mean, you can start from here and build anything from it, which is kind of always true. We just need to remind ourselves of that sometimes. But yeah, maybe you need to get out of managerial kingdom head and into the magician head. How do I? You're not going to manage it into happening, you're going to do it into happening. Okay. All right, lovely. Thank you so much, pile ones. I hope that was helpful. I hope that all made sense to you. Leave a message below if it did. Also press the red subscribe button, please. And like I say, this is available on my Etsy store if you would like a more personalized reading. Okay, so we will move on to pile twos. Hi, beautiful pile two people. You chose the Game of Thrones deck with this lovely piece of moss agate. I am live shuffling. I may be editing all this bit out. As I said in the other ones, it's quite hard to shuffle around the pole, which makes the camera bounce, so I'm really sorry. But the camera's at a weird angle because we need such a long spread because there's so many cards. All right, so pile two people. What do my pile two people need to hear about their business? Can we have the best for everyone, please, guides? Can I do the best for everybody involved here? Okay. Pile two people. Okay. No. Calm down now. That way. There we go. All right. One lovely thing about this deck, I mean, it is very dark, but there's a lot of people in it. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I was thinking that was lovely, because this is a business reading and business is about people. Okay, so you are current situation, beginnings, because it's a page, new. This isn't, even if you've been doing it for a long time, it's like you're starting a new chapter, you're starting a new phase. You're feeling very inexperienced and very wobbly. Things feel like they're just beginning, and also they feel like they might just be a bit imaginary and a bit overly emotional and not too sure. The Page of Cups is very sweet, very loving, quite poetic, and a dreamer. So yeah, got big dreams, big potential, worried if you're going to get there or not. Okay, so your obstacles and challenges, blocks, King of Swords. It feels like there's a logical person standing over your shoulder going, that's never going to work. And even if it's just in your head, your own sort of logical inner saboteur going, it's never going to work. They're going to laugh at me when it doesn't work. This is hard. This is, there seems to be a battle between imagination and dreams and defensiveness there, this status versus the things that are holding you back. Yeah, I mean, we do have to rely on logic and reason, but when logic is cutting away dreams and going, that's not possible, it's not actually true. Dreams can come true. You can make things happen, but you need to find a logical route through. So, so what would it be? I mean, if your business was to be a writer of fiction, that would make sense with a Page of Cups, or a poet or something like that. And then the entire world is going, there's no way to make money doing that. There is. Kindle has made that entirely possible for you to be a professional writer in your own right. You don't even need a publishing company anymore. You can do it. It's quite logical and it's quite correct. And there's a lot of people online that will tell you how to do it. It's a very saturated market. You've got to be very business canny and you've got to be good at what you do, which is where the King's Swords come into it. But if you can get yourself so that you're good at what you do, why the heck not? Why the heck not, says I. Okay, so the sources of aid, what there is to help you. It's like there's no rush, which is fabulous. This is something that you can take some time over and you can decide on the best route forwards. It's also, you can start in various directions, strangely enough, or you can move in two directions at least, according to the Two of Swords, and wait and see until it becomes unbalanced, which actually helps more, which hinders more, which is hard work, which is easy, which brings in reward, which doesn't, what works and what doesn't work. Two of Swords. So yeah, the help to you is the fact that you've got this time and this space to actually figure that out. You can check the balance of how things work and how things don't work. Okay, so there's quite a lot of this removes that, this idea of you've got to be cold and you've got to be logical and you've got to do it in the right way, and things just need to be as they are, you know, don't be so silly, be logical. Okay, well, I'm going to be logical, I'm going to do my research, I'm going to look into the ways that this can work, and what can I do to make it work. What is there for your long-term gains? What makes this long-term possible? It's got to be your passion. You've got to find it something that it's got to be something that you want to do when you get up in the morning. Okay? And if you can make it that. So again, if this is about writing, then get fascinated with the art of writing and where the words come from and how it works, and watch yourself do it. Be aware of how you're doing it. Enjoy the process of it, and that's healing, and it's a drive in itself, and it will help you do it long term. You've got to be fascinated by it. You've got to be driven. If you're losing your passion in this, you need to find a way to rebuild that passion. Okay, all right. So that's where your long-term gains will be found. The solid foundation. I want to do it. Not just I think it would be absolutely lovely. Genuinely, you've got to want to do it. Do it for a while. See if you really, really want to do it. Short term, easy wins. What do you get from it now? The tower, it will shake up your world. So a gain that you get from your world being shook up, it rocks your world. Things are exciting, things are new. It may be something. I mean, this feels like it's going to be breaking old habits, breaking chains, breaking out of a normalcy that you don't like. So that's a short-term gain. You get rid of, excuse me, the short-term gain, you get rid of the things that don't help you, and you get a new exciting adventure. Yeah, you might be throwing off some shackles here, and it might be terrifying while that happens, but it's really good when those shackles are thrown off. So yeah, you would get a short-term gain through that. Yep. Okay, I will go with that. That makes sense to me. Okay, the weaknesses. 3 of coins. The weaknesses is going to be this idea of the growth being slow, or the growth being almost organic in nature. So it does show growth, but it's not an immediate payment. It's not a full-on payout in the short term, and that can be a problem. You know, you've got to finance yourself while you're not earning doing this in some way, or you've got to be happy with very, very poor gains in the first instance that will grow into bigger gains in the long run. So it could be problematic. Finances could be problematic there. The actual growth of it could be slow and difficult, and that could cause setbacks, being realistic. Strength, temperance. You have the patience. This is all about books. We're back onto the books thing. Sorry if you're not about books and reading and writing and stuff, but temperance, it will happen at the right time, at the right moment for a start. Also patience. You will build a lot of patience, you will build a lot of skills, and it does suggest that you will be doing it at the right time, at the right moment as well. Yeah, you function best within temperance by doing enough of it, not burning out. We're on strengths, isn't it? Your strength is that you can moderate how much you put into this, so you won't get burnt out. And again, that was being shown as a strength. You really want to do it, passion and drive. So those two do tie in together. Sorry, what? Yeah, okay. All right, so well done on the temperance. Maybe you're just going to have to find a different way to shore up the finances for a little while. So your focus for right now, 5 of Swords. Not being put off by other people's logic. and not being put off by what people have said in the past or what you've told yourself in the past. This is past angers and past bitterness and past hurts coming to strength. If you've been told that you're only successful when you've got X amount of pounds in the bank, and you're looking at a really long time project that may not bring mad financial gains anytime soon, you're going to have some really good self-talk to make yourself believe that you're still successful doing what you want to do for less money. Because you're doing what you want to do. That's success, full stop, to my mind. If you're just in it for the money, well, that's good too, fine, that's great. But what about if you're really passionate and you want to be doing something? And I don't think you'd be choosing this route if it was all about money, because this does seem to be what you want to do as opposed to what would make most money. So yeah, a little bit of self-talk, look at your own self-talk, look at what needs attention. Also, the reactions of people around you. You're going to need some pretty good explanations for what you're doing to not be feeling or not be left in this Page of Cups energy, not being told that you're just a daydreamer. You need to have some logical backup for why you want to be doing what you want to be doing. Otherwise, those words are going to cut you and you're going to get disheartened. So your focus is to find that way to stop yourself from getting disheartened, to keep your energy up, to keep the drive there. Long-term focus for this. King of Spheres. This is your passion. This is your passion. This is your drive. Long term, you want to know that you can protect that passion and that you can do that passion and be master of what you are doing. So the mistress will nurture and will heal and will grow. They master it. You will be good. How do you become good? How do I become the best at my, whatever it is you're doing, your passion? And that's, yeah. That's fabulous, in all honesty. Your long-term focus is mastery of what you are doing, mastery of yourself, and mastery of your own drive. Yeah, King of Spheres. All good. This is King of... They are wands in any other deck, by the way. So yes. And the opportunities, long-term, what opens up for you, it puts you in a place to help, to give, to be charitable, to be equal, to be part of the give and flow of taking, giving and receiving. Yeah, I mean, this is almost a passion project that grows enough in order to be able to be the charitable institution. But it's a very positive sign to get there. It's either that or you're going to end up a charity case, and that is not true, not if your long-term goal. And we're talking about opportunities. So it could grow big enough for you to be able to give back in some way, to hone your skills enough to be able to pass them on to other people, to give to other people, or to just earn enough to set up that charity and to set up the giving back to people. So, like I say, incredibly possible. Incredibly positive opportunity being shown for you. So yes, yeah, there's a bit of breaking free to be done. There's possibly a little bit of cold logic to give yourself if you're being accused of being a dreamer. So sit there and logic your way to why you want to be doing what you're doing. And if you can build that passion for it, I want to do it because I want to do it because it drives me and it makes me feel good and it connects me with my emotions, or it connects me with my imagination, or it's a way of life that I want to live, or I want to create my own business because, then great. Show the drive, show the passion, show the action, and accept that it might take an awfully long time, or it might take a while, but it does grow organically, and check that it is growing. Then perfect. Then you get there. Because the thing with this sort of growth is when it's very slow, it keeps growing, it keeps growing. You don't actually fall over and go, I can't do it anymore. You can grow naturally and maintain the growth. So yeah, and with the Temperance, you will be able to keep up. You will be able to, again, deal with things as they come along, because you will be in the right mindset as it grows and as it changes. And you are being shown as progressing as well, aren't you? Yeah, it's very positive. These cards are incredibly bleak, aren't they? But every single one of them are. So don't go with the pictures too much. Look, this is a light one. And follow your passion. Yeah. I'm going to say it's almost like you feel that logic is holding you back, and it's almost like I'm saying that, and that is not the truth. Cold defensiveness is holding you back. Other people not being able to follow their dreams might be holding you back. Being told that it's dreamers stuff, you can't do that. That might be holding you back, and that does suggest that as well. So look hard and strong about whether this is a pipe dream or is it actually possible. Consider the options, and if the options are there, then go for them. Okay, lovely. All right, thank you so much, my Pile 2 peoples. If you found this useful but want something that's absolutely more specific to you, like you're not a writer and I was sitting there talking about writers, then drop me a sale on my Etsy store or send me an email or something, and we will do one just for you. But otherwise, take care of yourself, be kind to one another. Thank you so much for watching. Please press the red subscribe button, and I will see you on another Pick a Card. All right. Hello. Hello, my Pile 3 peoples. Welcome to your Pick a Card reading for your business checkup situation set in. I have a lovely mineral that I can't remember the name of. I'm really sorry. I should look up these things, but it's really hard and you can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's very rainbow colored and it's very beautiful. And it is, yeah, it is supposed to be for protection as well. Remember that bit. You're supposed to put a chunk by your door. Okay, so I may well be editing out these shufflings because it's really hard to do this without knocking the camera stand, because of the way that the camera needs to be sitting in order for you to see the very, very large spread. But we shall see. If I haven't, then that's fine. But please, guides, please, spirits, please, universe, can we have the best cards to advise all those that pick Pile 3 in their business situations right now? So we want the best for all involved, please. Advice, commentary, your knowledge about their business and how they are faring there and how they could survive and thrive. Okay. Okay, so gosh, you've got heavy hitting cards from the outset, haven't you? So what have we got? We've got balance and judgment. Princess. Lust. Okay. That is there. Focus. This isn't a love reading. How did lust come into that? I'll get there. Okay, so this card, the upright card, is your situation at this point in time. And it's called justice or balance, depending on which reading you take of it. So, for some of you, it can obviously mean legal matters are holding you back, or that things haven't been fair, or at least you feel that they haven't been fair. For others, it's going to suggest that you're actually doing really well at balancing things and finding a sort of balance in your work life and emotional life going on. So work and home life, that sort of thing, that you're balancing really well. The amount of energy you put in versus the reward that you get balances really well. That idea of balance is shining through. Problematic judgment card. So having problems with judgment having judgment as an obstacle may mean almost exactly what it says on the tin. It may mean that your own judgment isn't as balanced as it used to be, or that your own judgment is a bit clouded by past issues. It could also mean that there's an issue that you need to deal with that hasn't been dealt with. And again, this could be that legal thing that's holding you back, and you don't feel that you can step forwards without that being completely fulfilled. So they are heavy-hitting cards. And honestly, that could be, it's like there's an awful lot of very different people watching this. For some people, it's going to mean that things are really well balanced and doing quite well, and you just haven't become aware of it yet. You haven't quite noticed it. Your judgment is a bit off there. For some people, it can mean that you're in a legal stalemate and that things aren't moving. You don't feel anything can move forwards until the legality is dealt with. For others, it's going to mean that you are actually balancing things really, really well, but there's past issues that you haven't sorted out that kind of need to be addressed, possibly in terms of how you look to other people. And I'm not saying public apology is needed or anything like that. It could just mean that you need to have a quiet word with I don't know, suppliers or something like that, and say, look, obviously there's been problems, but it's sorted now. Okay, so sources of aid. This is the first time that we've got an actual person in the sources of aid. There's somebody that can help you. It's probably not a business mentor, given that this is Princess of Cups. It's going to be somebody who emotionally drives you, or is emotionally fascinated in some way with your business. But it's a real emotional, spiritual tie, this. It's not to do with somebody coming in and seeing a massive profit that they can make from you and trying to buy out 51% of your company or anything like that. The source of aid is very much emotional. It could also talk about your attitude. Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, they're the dreamers. The dreamers and the poet and the romantic will drift off into, and they're very, very sweet, they're very, very naive, but they're also enthusiastic and they're very, very kind. And it's allowing yourself to be that daydreamer, be that free, be that positive about things, and really just enjoy that you enjoy what you're doing. Okay? So in terms of what builds your foundations, so desire or lust, it's an interesting card to get there, isn't it? So the solid foundations, the long-term gains, what helps you in the long run, desire and lust. Quite a strange card to get there, but it makes sense. You really want this. You really want this. You started it because you want it. Remind yourself that you want it. You know, you get up every day and you do the thing that you want to do. A lot of people don't have that. You wanted it so much that you made it happen, and that can really spur you forwards if you remind yourself of it long term. Short term, we've got this idea of waiting and seeing how things turn out, not necessarily having to make a decision right now, you know. The Two of The Two of Swords calls for analysis, calls for a time to weigh up options and weigh up alternatives. Also, it suggests that there are options and there are alternatives, and you can have a real mindset change just by going, gosh, I've got options. Ooh, there are choices that I can make. You know, you're not driven into a corner putting out a fire. So planning, thinking, analysing, that is something that you can do right now, you know, and this is what this short-term card is about. What benefit is there now? What can you do right now that's going to bring you some easy pickings? Do the analysis. So, yeah, sorry. For some of you, it's going to be make the decision as well, that ability to make decisions, choosing a particular route forwards. For some of you, I'm getting distracted by this ball and the yin yang and the opening up of that as well. That there are paths. I think some of you are going to have some paths opening for you, which is going to be absolutely amazing and magical for some of you, for some readers. yeah, there's a blooming and an opening that you're going to watch happen that's going to be absolutely amazing for some. Okay. Where you function best, Princess of Discs, exploring the actual tangible realness of what you're doing. So making things look absolutely fabulous. How do you go about doing that? How does the actual functionality of my shop front work? How does the functionality of my... This is a strength of yours. This is something that you can rely on quite heavily to drive you forwards. I'm particularly bad at that bit, so I'm quite jealous, but well done. So that's a strength that you have, this actual making the physicality of things look amazing, feel amazing, really touch people, okay? I think I've just done that wrong. I have. That is your weakness. Oh no. So the lack of that. Watch how you make things appear, feel, seem. Make sure that you're doing the best you can to present the quality of things. That is a weakness. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, heck. I skipped a card. This is the strength. The strength is your emotional state. You're good at maintaining relationships and happiness and enjoying what you're doing. Which is brilliant, you know. You can get emotional fulfillment out of what you're doing. That is incredible. That is going to drive you forward. And it is tied in with this lust thing as well, this idea of, I hope, I mean, there may be sex workers in here, but this does feel like somebody who's emotionally really tied in and invested in what they're doing, and it drives them forwards. But because they're emotional and maybe they struggle to see the distance, step back and have a distance and actually look at what it looks like in concrete terms to the rest of the world. They're waiting for everybody else to just fall in love with it because that's how they feel. Whereas they need to seduce people a little more into falling in love with them. Well, that's resonating with my business quite strongly as well. Okay. So your focus for now. Prince of Discs. So we move from the Page of Discs to the Knight of Discs. Yeah, that making things happen in a very practical, solid way. Everything's very emotional for you. Are you crossing your T's and dotting your I's? Are you getting the paperwork done? Are you making sure that the legal side of things is getting sorted out? The practical sides of business. Keep your accounts up to date. Market yourself, find new customers, check that you're selling at the right price point. Could you be making more money? Could you be working less for more? That sort of thing. The very practical nuts and bolts of business. Not fun, but, you know, needs attention now. So my cards, this is the cards, it's not me, that's what that says. That bright Knight of Discs pays attention to detail, moves very slowly, grows very slowly, but grows. And once he started moving, you can't stop him moving. That's momentum gathering. 9, long-term focus. New physical start, new place. Are you looking for a shop? Are you looking for a place to work in? Are you looking for a new means of doing things? Something new. What's next? And it doesn't mean like a new business. It could be something new that is in with your chain of like product range. It could be opening the next in a chain. It could be starting this idea of what's it called? Like when you have more than one. Yeah, we'll go with chain. There's an actual word for it though. Like Kentucky Fried Chickens are. Those. Yeah, if I remember it, I'll edit it in or write it over or something. But yeah, can you get somebody else to sort of support your name under a different shop? That sort of thing, under a different location. So expansion, new growth, new beginnings, new potentials. That's your long-term focus. Opportunities that are coming. Wow, a new perspective. And this Hanged Man is also very much like the sort of death card to me as well, because it is all about that chrysalis period, that coming out with a new you, new ideas, new growth, new perceptions, new opportunities. So the cards are kind of going, opportunities, all sorts of. So what opportunities we have? Or many. But yeah, mostly going through insights and also allowing people to get a different view of you as well, to see you as somebody that they've misjudged as well. for some of you, which is lovely. But you guys are the really emotional pile. You're being called to remember that the practicalities. The other one, we're being called away from the practicalities and into the love and the passion of it all. You're being told that your passion and your drive is absolutely perfect. Lovely, you've got that sorted. Can you just be a bit more practical? But that's okay. I think with the balance card as your situation, you knew that anyways, and you're working on that. To be honest, it's a really, really positive reading. I would be happy to team up with somebody who had a reading like this. It looks like you're doing good, guys. And it looks like you're going to come out good as well. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please press the red subscribe button. Please subscribe. If you want a specialized, personalised, call it what you will. If you want a reading like this just for you, they'll be up on sale on my Etsy shop, which is linked down below. Yeah, or send me an email. My email address is below as well. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you all on another pick a card reading. Thank you all. Blessed be.